Alrighty guys, on the video I'm going to make for you guys today, we're going to talk a little bit about how you can find mature deer in steeper terrain that has a lot of pressure, like public land, stuff like that. So if you guys just want to follow along, I'm going to make this pretty simple, so it's not going to take a lot of thinking, but it is pretty effective. Alright, so the first thing I did for you guys is I just went around and put a black line on the road that runs through this property, and that just gives us an idea of where the access points are on this little piece of property, because directly across from that road there is nothing behind this property. It's just all hardwoods and hills. So now what we're going to do here is we're just going to go through in red and we're just going to mark areas that probably have easy access points coming from the road. So that'll just give us an idea of where people are probably coming in on this property, because this is going to be a pretty popular piece of public, so I'm sure it's going to get hunted pretty hard. So I just like to go through and kind of mark these entry areas, I guess, so you can kind of get an idea where all the pressure is going to come from and where these deer are going to watch or want to watch or be prepared for this pressure to come from. Because after a few weeks into season, or even gun season kicks in, these deer are they're gonna know that these are the spots that people are coming in on constantly. This is where the pressure is at, and that's where I don't want to be at come this time in the morning or throughout the day. So let's just go ahead and mark all these little areas here. And like I said, some people might go farther than others, but most people are probably just going to walk right into these easy access points and set up on one of these ridges. And you might see deer that way. I mean, you will see deer that way, I'm sure, but it's not very likely that you're going to see good sized mature deer just strolling through that area with as much pressure as it does get. Because I do know this little piece of property does get, I keep saying little, but it's not little, but does get a lot of pressure during deer season. Also, guys, it's always best, if you can, a couple months before season, to just go in there and see what it actually looks like. This is just a quick idea of what I go through before I even go check it out, just so I'm not wasting my time going and checking these areas that are right off the side of the road, or ridges that work along down through the property but come off the road, because I don't want to go in there and scout those areas and waste my time. I want to go in and have an idea of where I think these more mature deer might be at. Alright, so now what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to go through and I'm just going to mark in white some areas I think that a mature deer might bed at, where he can see, these points of access coming from the road that he's familiar with people coming in on, or where he can sit in an area that he is at least able to smell you come in on those areas, or hear you coming up one of those hillsides, because you're going to have to come in through one of those bottoms to get up this hillside. So I think a few points up here would be a good area where he could, watch all points of access and have a place to dodge out if he needs to. Okay, so now what I'm going to do in yellow is show you two different ways I would enter this property and hunt it, and two different places I would put a stand. So first I'm just going to go in on the road access, come around the back side of the hill there to try to stay undetected, and get up here on this ridge top where these three ridges kind of meet at, and that's the first place I'd put my stand, with the wind blowing in my face from the direction I came. Then also, if anyone does come in on those access points I showed you earlier marked in red, and they do push deer out of there, I have a good chance of them coming around that area to my way. And then I also have the wind in my favor. Like I said, most people are going to come in off those easy access points. No one's really going to think about it too much as I'm explaining here. And as simple as it is, it does work. So now I'm going to show you another little point of entry. I'd come in off that other corner of the road, sneak around the back side of this ridge here, work my way around it, and kind of get up at this point of this draw. And that's where I'd hang my second set. Then also by doing that, if people do come in on the easy access points, there's a high chance that they might push deer by me as well. And again, I know it seems simple, but 90% of people aren't going to think about it like we just did, marking this yellow line. They're more than likely going to take those red lines I marked on the easy access points and just come straight in and hang a set based off of a scrape that was made at night. So by doing this, I think it's a lot more undetectable and you have more of a chance. Like I said, everybody does it different, and it's different with having crops or cornfields or flat terrain, but with these steeper terrain areas, those bucks are able to get in positions where they know you're there before you were ever even in the game at all. So this is just a couple ways, or a way you can go about trying to predict where these bucks are going to get pushed off to, and also get in there undetected and hopefully kill more mature, bigger deer. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, then go ahead and throw a like down there, and I'll try to make some more of them for you and give you a better idea.